Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast, where I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right, fellow host, Levi Gates.
Thanks, Dane. Levi Gates here, first of his
Yes.
name, King of the Andals and the First Men.
There it is. And then we got Anthony Fisher over here.
Hey, I don't think I could top that, honestly.
Somebody's been watching too much House of the Dragon.
What's the other thing? It's like conquer.
Roiner.
Or like, it's
The
like
Roinar.
it's like something. There's another thing they say in the show where they say like he's the conqueror, the keeper of peace, or I don't know, whatever the heck
King
it
of the
is.
Andals,
Yeah.
And the First Men.
First,
Yeah,
Or the
first of his
Roinar,
name,
yeah.
and if you want to, we can just start opening up with those every single time.
I think that'd be a great
Protector
idea.
of the realm.
I think
all
we should
that,
do
yeah.
a Dane Hennon,
Yeah,
King of the Hennon home,
yeah.
King of the Towels.
King of the Towels,
Yeah, ooh, the towel. It has to be towel.
Prince of the Towels.
Towel holes.
towel holes.
That
yeah.
sounds
of the
weird.
towels.
I don't know about that.
Maybe.
Well, maybe our listeners can help figure out how
I
we would
think,
write that out for maybe the
probably
three of
helps.
us.
Well,
Master
welcome
of Shine.
Yeah.
to
Master of the
a
Shine.
Monday podcast main show.
It's
where it's Tuesday. Oh my gosh, a Tuesday podcast main show where it is a very foggy day outside today,
Very.
and the Halloween vibes are in full effect, and we've had a pretty crazy fun weekend.
Yeah,
right?
it's been it's a busy day. Yesterday, I feel like just flew by.
Yeah.
And we only have a few days left of this week, and then next week is SEMA week, which is absolutely insane to me that we're going on a trip together again,
Wow.
boys. I haven't been on a trip with the two of you since
3 months.
Well,
Yeah.
no, since May. I went
been a
with
while.
Dane. Dane and I are our travel
Oh,
buddies.
it's true.
We
Well,
did
we
our
gotta
own
get
trip,
you
but
in
we
on
haven't had you on it
It's true. It's
since our European adventure. So it's gonna be good to get the old
Yeah.
gang back together.
And this one ain't so far.
I'm
So,
excited. There's
And
8
it's
of us
only,
on a plane together.
It's only 4 days long.
And it's only 4 days. It's a quick trip.
What a luxury.
I never thought SEMA would be a quick trip, but here we
You guys are gonna go like,
We used
wow,
to drive
this is.
there and haul everything.
You're gonna be
You've
like,
seen
this
the
is
videos.
amazing. This is so much nicer.
Well, we used to drive there in 2 vehicles.
Uh-huh.
vehicles.
And
Pulling
we,
a trailer
and pulling a trailer
with
we-
our booth in it.
with our booth in it. We would drive down there. We'd make several pit stops along the way.
A 12-hour drive.
Jeff
Yeah.
would leave Dane and I in the dust as he would power off. Tim, our old editor, would be in the back seat, super upset about the entire situation.
Yes.
And just wouldn't say anything and didn't even talk to us the entire trip going down there. And then we would pull up, and then we would have a 8 days. 9 days.
We were there 9 days.
That's because
9
we had a
days.
buffer
Because-
of like 2 days on each side of just.
Not
Yeah.
even that. What it was we would have to set up our booth, so we would get there early so that we'd have a couple days to
Yeah.
set up the booth. This year, like the year past,
Yeah.
we have designed the booth to be easy, breezy, beautiful.
Wow.
Cover girl.
So it's gonna not only is our booth design part of our case.
Yeah.
Our cases are part of our booth design, so that when we open everything up, it's right there. When we tear everything down, it's right there. We don't have to wait for
So
cases
no
anymore.
more waiting for the
Nope.
forklift.
We don't have to do nothing.
Guys-
We literally show up, set it up. It's like a pop-up tent. It's just like,
If you are listening to this and you have no idea what we're talking about, consider yourself lucky, I guess.
well,
Because
no, go back in
if you-
time. Watch
if
some
you
of
go
our
back
previous
in
SEMA
time
videos.
and you watch like some of the early videos, you can kind of see some element of that, but you're still missing a lot. I feel like unless you watch that very first year's video
Yeah.
that we have, that shows more of the weird ambiance.
What I'm
of
excited
after
about, though, this
hours
year?
at SEMA.
not having to yell at Dane to get his shoes on,
Mm.
or listen to Jeff yell at Dane to get his shoes on while the car's warming up.
Love that.
And we're leaving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dane's the last one out.
Yeah. Now we're gonna all have our pretty much
Come
our own
prepared.
rooms, almost.
Yeah.
have our
Yeah.
own rooms, and
I'm working on
it's gonna be awesome. So, anyways, let's jump into this. So, housekeeping. This last weekend, we had our Halloween sale, one of our most successful sales of the year, thanks to all of you.
It was awesome.
Watching and listening and supporting the Rag Company. So, what the deal was it was a $66 mystery bag. Kind of a cursed price, right? With some blessed product inside.
Ooh,
of it,
I like the way you did
right?
that. Yeah.
And it was really cool. I mean, basically, I got to choose. Mostly, me and Jeff kind of curated everything that came in these mystery bags. There was a good variety of them, and everything in there was just awesome. So I think like whoever bought 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 is going to be pretty freaking stoked because once they see what's in it, yeah, they're going to be happy. We shoved some stuff in there that maybe we're not making the most money on. Let's just say that, but we did it because we wanted this to be a successful hit.
Well, and there's some great doorbusters, which was really cool.
$2 doorbusters, Levi, which included the Monster Mitt and the Monster Pad.
A lot of people were curious about those.
Yes, those are it was
a prototype.
From 2017 during the Mitt Pad Wars of 2017.
Oh, man,
which
what a year.
These didn't
Good times.
These didn't quite do what we wanted them to do in terms of the thickness of that pad. And if you guys ordered one, you'll know what I mean. Like the thickness of the pad's pretty thick. It'll break down eventually and soften up.
It's a great pillow.
And it's a great pillow, but yeah. So $2 though to have a nice wash pad and have a nice wash mitt.
Maybe you want to wash your car with it. Maybe you want to use it as a cushion. Maybe on your desk.
The point is
Like
the material is
cushion.
safe on your
Quite
car.
nice.
That's not the issue. The issue came from just a general understanding that this pad may be a little. It feels like a firm mattress, and you're just kind of like maybe dial
Dane
it back
actually
a little.
built a camp mattress out of probably 20 of them. I think.
Dude, you stitch like 50 of
yeah.
those together, you got yourself a mattress.
Look at his
on
van.
the
It's
go,
called
on
the Shag
fly.
and Wagon,
Well, it's
right?
for a reason.
You call it that.
So on top of that, we had a $10 Express kit, which was insane. It was like literally $10 for a bottle of Express, a VLB brush, and towels, which is nuts.
Yeah.
And then we sold out of our Golden Eagles.
And we also sold out of the sneaker kit
Color Lock
just in
sneaker
time
kit.
for SEMA.
Wow.
Get them shoes cleaned up, looking sharp,
And
ready to rock. Which is a
and
great
we
kit.
sold out of our limited T-shirts.
We did, and we
Important note. on
oversold.
Yeah, oversold a little bit, but we're gonna get those made because we did not want to just cancel their order. We want to make them, and so we're gonna have another order made of just for those
that are already paid for.
They're already paid for. This is our first time doing like a full color limited shirt, and obviously people loved
The
it.
interest
So
is
we're going to be
there,
doing these more
clearly.
And then also people really liked the stickers as well. So everybody's getting a sticker with their Halloween order. Hopefully everybody got a shirt. Hopefully everybody got a mystery bag. So a successful sale. It was freaking awesome. We loved it, and we can't wait to do it again. But our next sale, in terms of something fun like that, we might do something interesting for Black Friday. May or may
I know
not.
Nate's been working on the sticker for Black Friday. He's got a couple ideas he's been working on, which I'm really excited to see.
And then coming into Christmas, obviously Christmas will be pretty fun as well. But I mean, we have a ton of fun here with Halloween, and thank you for watching our live production that we did last Thursday. That was one big fun thing, but also our full production that we did.
Yeah.
It's haunted in here.
None of us touched that. You saw that. Dude, you're making it worse. Stop touching it.
Sorry, let me try to put that one back up. It's on you.
No, just let it.
By the end of the day, it might be wrapped around Dane.
Just let
It
it
might. So
Leave it.
That's pretty much it, man. I mean, we're this week's gonna be a little bit calmer. It's kind of the week before SEMA. We do have Mark Perch in the house.
Yes.
From AU Car Care, which is awesome. We had some little bit of Australian vibes.
Yeah. So
to the office building.
He brought some gifts for Augie and Hadley.
Yeah.
Last night, and
Yeah.
so when I was driving him back to his Airbnb, he goes, "Oh, I got these. I got to give them to you." Augie and Hadley brought them each a actual large stuffed animal, kangaroo, and a koala hugging for each of them. It says Australia around their necks. Augie and Hadley very excited about those. Then boomerangs.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Let me
that
guess.
would be-
Augie found his new favorite.
They're paint your own boomerang too. So as a kit, they could paint, do their own designs on it. Hadley got hers painted. Augie still has his in the bag. He's waiting for a day where he can actually do a little
Sit down and
breakdown.
concentrate.
Yeah, he really wants to make it right. Hadley this morning woke up, went through her boomerang in the front yard, and she's like, "It didn't come back to me." Yeah. And I said, "Well, you're in the front yard. You don't really have enough space.
The amount of space required.
Got to get a
more
lot
than
of whip
you think.
going to get that sucker to huck. We may have to take it out to the playground later."
Hero was
and then we'll
expecting
do it.
Augie to be the one who's just like,
He was
free
a little.
weapon.
He wasn't Carly said he was a little depressed yesterday.
Oh,
So he just cuddled with the stuffed animal, watched some TV, just needed to chill out.
interesting.
I don't know what's going on with him, but he's on a new medication, so he was kind of just dealing with that. So,
understand.
but he was very excited to get his stuff, and he was super stoked to have that, and just was
Okay.
keeping an eye on it, making sure Hadley didn't go paint it. But
Yeah.
Mark also brought some toys for Josh's kids too. So they got some
nice.
Aussie Rules footballs,
Ooh.
so they could have some soccer balls to play with. So they were pretty stoked about those.
That's
So
nice.
it's just fun. We haven't seen Mark in 3 years.
It's
I know.
crazy how COVID
Yeah.
affects that, where you just don't get to see each other. So it's fun to have him because he's going to be here for SEMA. He's going to be going. He's going to do a couple more stops in the U.S. He likes this is a big trip, about 3 weeks for him.
Yeah, he's been going through.
He was at PNS headquarters
Yep.
last week, and then took a couple days in California with his wife. Then he came up here while she's still down there. He's going to go back, spend some time with her. They're going to head to Vegas, and then he's got to do another couple stops around the country just to visit some of the suppliers that he handles over there in Australia. Because everything, got to remember, he's on a shopping trip and fills some containers and ships them back home. So. But yeah, super fun to have him here. We're going to do a detox, me and him, next after the podcast. So we'll have one of those for you guys so you can listen to how what he does over there.
Heck
So,
yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So weekends, Dane, what did you do this weekend?
Oh man, throwing it on me. I don't know. I've been on my fitness kick now, so I've been doing more and more of that.
You looked like you were in a fitness kick yesterday.
Yeah.
You had your
Had joggers
track
on.
pants on.
Yeah.
Had a nice shirt. Got the hoodie on. You had a vest. I was like,
It was snug. I'm still a big boy. But
I was
I'm
waiting for
working
you to
on it.
pop out of a Range Rover, head over to the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh no!
After
no,
your
no, no.
afternoon or morning with the personal trainer.
That's jeez.
That's how you looked. It looked great. It looked
Wow.
you looked
It's
fancy.
open.
I look at that as like a
One
level
day.
of fancy, Dane. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, man,
Just
the
a
guy's
little
taking
bougie.
time, make himself right.
Yeah.
Well, you reach a certain point and you're like, this, I hope, is rock bottom. I don't like weighing 280 pounds. That's not fun.
Yeah,
So, turn that ship around. So
that's the way we do it.
basically working on that. And I feel like I've been big for a number of years, but this, post-COVID has been like a little too much.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. I want you to know
yeah,
that.
both proud
dialing
of
it
you.
back. Definitely don't want that. But yeah, this weekend went for a couple of different walks, just various places. Boise's a beautiful city, so I like going to different spots and just looking at architecture while I walk, or like go down by the river, kind of thing. So yeah, no, it was beautiful. It started to rain. Luckily, I had my hoodie, but took the dog out. As I showed you on the video, I felt really bad because I was going on this walk, and my dog is sweet towards all creatures living in all that,
All creatures, great and small.
great and small. Apparently, there's a size limit though, as
Oh.
to how small she'll be accepting of. Because I saw a little field mouse that was probably like a really young field mouse, not. It looked like it hadn't fully grown yet. I was just like, oh, because I heard this little like high pitch kind of tweet, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a bird. I thought, oh, here's a little chick. No, it's actually a field mouse. So I pull out my phone to like, oh, let me get a cool little shot of you, little guy. And as I'm doing that, I got Callie over in the other hand, and she was way over here. I didn't even think about her being an issue, but I get it. She must have heard that high pitched noise and thought squeaky toy. And as I'm trying to get my shot, I ended up accidentally taking a video instead of a shot because I was like so caught off guard. I was just like, okay, film the little guy, and I'm going to get a picture. No, her big fuzzy head appears in frame, and all of a sudden, no, Callie, no! And all of a sudden, just, and then I hear the, and I'm like, oh, no. And then she moves away, and I move the camera down. I'm like, oh. Sorry, little guy. I felt so bad for this little creature. I felt so bad. So
It tastes
So
delicious.
did it die?
I don't know.
He didn't
It
stick
was
around long
quiet
enough
and
to
it wasn't
find out.
moving,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna assume she did one little nom and then let it go, and that was that, because there's no blood on the ground, nothing like that. But it was just like, okay, yeah. So
Dane.
I felt
R.I.P.
like
little dude.
garbage for a couple hours after that. Like that poor little guy could have gone on living his life, but no, I had to walk my dog over here, and now he is no
I'll
more.
teach you next
So,
time to take
yeah.
pictures of wildlife.
Some circle of life stuff right there. I mean, geez, okay.
Sorry, Dane.
Then I tried to rationalize it, like, you're National Geographic and you're watching a lion
Right.
attack gazelle or something, and you're like, this isn't the same. I
Yeah.
brought this dog here. This is not a wild animal. So anyway, yeah, I know. To other people are like, I hunt. It's not a big deal. But still, when it's unintentional, you feel worse for some reason. You should feel worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, great walk. Got several miles in this weekend.
Nice.
So all over the place. I was very happy with that. But, working on it.
Yeah.
So
Proud of you. Also, one of the things that I think what you don't realize, we do a lot of walking at SEMA.
We do.
You getting your legs stretched out.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
gonna help.
basically
What's gonna do-
conditioning.
It's also going to
for-
help you fight off those Charlie horses that we all get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get Charlie.
I have to
horses,
start.
but-
I'm going to be I've been walking. I haven't walked this weekend.
Yeah.
But I've been doing the same thing as you. I've been walking at night with the dog
Yeah.
just to do the exact same thing to kind of stretch my legs.
Right.
Because most people don't know, we walk 15 to 20,000 steps
Yeah, that's normal.
each day
Yeah.
at SEMA.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is going to be no different because we have to walk from our hotel rooms to our booth every morning.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
it's a long walk. So
No, it's a ton of walking there at SEMA, and I think, I'm conditioning myself for it in a good way. I think it'll be just fine doing all that. One thing I was going to point out was sorry guys, there are a few of your comments I did want to throw up on the screen, but it's not working right now, so I may read them to these guys here as we go, but I'll get my story and then we can kind of pop a few up.
yeah.
But yeah, beyond essentially the exercise done this weekend, I also managed to get in a little movie marathon. I treated myself to a
Nice.
turn of the millennial, like movies that were at least, even if they weren't released in the 90s, were filmed in the 90s. So I was doing a bit of that. And, I thought, in a way we all kind of experienced different forms of, going back in time and looking at a different era or something, you and your movie theater and all that kind of stuff. So in my case, I watched Twister first.
Good.
Which weirdly,
It's a good movie, right?
I had never seen the full movie before.
Really?
For real. Because
Saw it in the theater.
It's a classic. I know that. But I'd only ever seen bits and pieces go over to a friend's
Right, like
house,
on
it's playing in the
TV.
background,
Yeah.
on TV, all that stuff.
Right.
I'd never just
No, it's
sat
a
down
great
and watched
movie.
it from beginning to end. I was like,
They're
damn,
doing
that's a
it.
good
They're
movie.
working on
That's
a
fun one.
remake.
And that was the reason it popped in my head, was because I heard they were doing a remake. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to watch that first one. I've never
Yeah.
watched that, so I did.
It's a true display of the second gen Dodge Ram.
It's
2500,
literally-
but
it's literally the ad.
Seriously.
it's
for
literally
it.
the ad for the second gen Ram.
It is a total ad for that truck, and yet compared to product placement in movies that came later, it just feels right in that movie. You're like, yeah, go Ram, go.
Yeah,
But,
3/4 ton, long bed,
It's a good time.
V10.
And literally
So-
the character's looking, going, nice truck. Like, this is such an ad. And you're
Yeah.
like, but I'm here for
She's
it.
asking if he's got insurance on that. thing.
Yeah, just liability.
Yeah. He's all just
It's like,
liability
ooh.
only. Like, really on a brand new truck, you
Yeah.
could do
It
that?
was brand
And
new
literally
then,
you
yeah.
can't do that, right?
But that's the movie that inspired me to get a second gen
Yeah.
Dodge
Oh,
Ram.
is it?
Yeah. Well, besides the fact I got it for free, and
Yeah, that
it
probably
just,
helped.
I got what I could get. But I
That's
mean,
also when I fell in love with those with the Jeep J trucks.
Oh, the honcho. Oh, yeah.
That, and seeing that thing going, and I was like, oh my god, I think I'm in love
That
with
thing
those.
gets messed up in the movie.
so you saw
and the
Twister.
bad guys in that dually burb.
Yeah, and the dually
Yeah.
burb.
So after Twister, what'd you watch?
So after Twister, I went and did a number
Dante's
of things,
Peak.
including my walk and stuff. Dante's Peak's another one that I have not watched in years. Maybe
You should
I'll
watch
that again.
Good
Yeah.
square body Suburban action
Well, see,
with a snorkel.
Once again, I watched another one of those kinds of movies where they had the same premise and they came out at the same time. For Dante's Peak, it was Volcano, I think,
Right.
the one in L.A. or the Liberated Tar Pits and
Yeah.
all that. The one I watched, though, I watched Deep Impact and Armageddon. So basically a double feature there. This was on Twister was like on the afternoon, and then this one was in the evening after my walk and stuff. I watched Deep Impact and then Armageddon. I've seen Armageddon like 10 times because it's an entertaining movie and
Yeah.
it's fun. And I like all the cast in it.
So is this you by yourself, or was this Brandon, Liz, you all sitting down, got your popcorn?
Brandon
got your
popped
drinks,
in
ready to
occasionally,
go?
but he was doing his billiards like championship stuff.
he's billiards pro.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good at that. So he's working on getting into some tournaments and going to Vegas himself.
Wow.
But no, Liz has got her own game stuff going on, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna pack in some movies
dig it,
because I
yeah.
missed out. So I'm like, all right, I got these theater chairs now. We're
Yeah,
chilling. We're having a
yeah.
good time. But yeah, Deep Impact. I'd never actually watched that movie from beginning to end either. Once again, had only seen bits and pieces. Armageddon, though, I watched beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like even as a 8-year-old, I was watching that movie straight through. But Deep Impact was interesting because beat for beat, Armageddon and Deep Impact, extremely similar on paper. You look at the plot points and stuff, and you're like, well, these are old movies, guys. You can't be upset if I spoil anything. But basically, everything from the scientists discovering the comet, meteor, whatever, to the circumstances of people on the ground, to we got to send some kind of ship out to go and land on the asteroid and plant nukes in it and do that stuff. Both movies have that.
Yeah,
but the way they execute it is so different.
But Dane, only one of those movies has Liv Tyler in it.
That's true.
True.
Although Taya Leone, but still, so deep impact. The thing with it was, it was more of a character drama.
Yeah,
and it came at it from a very different direction. It was like almost like felt like a '90s political drama in a newsroom and stuff until it turned into that. Whereas Armageddon is just like, oh yeah, we're a silly fun action movie because it's Michael Bay just doing Bayhem and all that. So it just feels much more visceral and current when you watch it.
Yeah.
Because his style, it kind of transcends a time period. Because you're like, I love The Rock, I love Bad Boys, I love like all this stuff. So
I do love The Rock.
Deep Impact was definitely a little different, though.
I also love the animal cracker scene in Armageddon.
Oh God, let's
right?
not
go
there.
About?
No, let's not go there.
Good time.
That scene is actually kind of awkward. Even if you're into that, that's awkward.
I know.
And my BMW Z3 was in the background, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
other thing I was going to say, Dante's Peak filmed in Idaho.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew that.
Okay.
Wallace, Idaho.
Okay, I'm going to add that to my list again
Whole
because I
movie
have not
there.
watched that in
Wallace, Idaho is the town that they filmed that whole movie.
well over a decade since I saw
great.
that.
I went and saw that movie in the theater with my parents.
Did you?
My stepmother's from Wallace, Idaho.
Oh, yeah.
She audibly laughed when they did the CGI.
Oh, you know.
Because they show the town square.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, look, there's Wallace. That's where I grew up. That's the town. Blah,
And
blah,
it's
blah.
about to get
And then all of a sudden it goes up.
eviscerated.
No, it just goes up. And it's this huge mountain, volcano behind it. And she literally,
That's
I
not
remember
there.
I remember she laughed, like, ha! Like, when she saw that. Like,
Oh, that's
So-
got to be weird for people who
I
actually
bet, right? It's from town you're in.
from
You're
there.
like, what the?
Yeah.
Man.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's how I feel whenever I watch American Graffiti.
Yeah.
As I'm from Modesto, California.
Yeah. Well, that's a happening
I
place.
do love American Graffiti.
Cruising
in
at
its own way,
night,
though.
hot
Yeah.
rods, going
How
on
can you
midnight
not
races.
love the vibes
Yeah.
of that movie.
Grabbing
Just-
a couple bites to eat at a burger joint.
I mean, sure, it's
Yeah.
winga dinga dinga dinga, but it's fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it just reminds me of the good times before
Yeah.
that town went
Well-
to complete garbage.
Great little Hamlet.
And on a separate note, the way I rounded out my movie marathon was on Sunday. I switched it over and I watched one more movie from the 90s, but didn't come out until like 2000 or so. That was The Perfect Storm.
Ooh,
And I
good
decided to
one.
round up because I was like,
one.
A
I
lot of
want
great
some
Boston accents.
Yeah, and some not so good ones. So, some are authentic and some are, that's forced.
it just makes me want to eat clam chowder whenever I watch that. You know what I'm saying?
I just wanted to have some like Old Man and the Sea vibes, or like some kind of just I've seen the
Well,
lighthouse.
it's getting
and all the
cold
other
outside
stuff.
and overcast on
I'm
Sunday.
thinking, October,
Yeah.
Eastern Seaboard, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like, let's just go for some vibes, right?
Why didn't you just watch
And
The
that movie-
Fog?
I want to watch a good movie.
The Fog isn't, or no, not The Fog.
You're thinking of The Mist.
Okay, The Mist is
The
also,
Mist
The
is-
Mist is horrible.
yeah, The Mist, the
Fog.
ending, oh my
The
God.
Fog has what's his name in it from like Smallville. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But
No,
that-
I wanted
don't know
to
that
watch
bad.
The Perfect Storm because that was another one where once again I've only ever seen it once all the way through, and it was so long ago I couldn't really remember all the beats, but I knew I liked the atmosphere of the movie, so I wanted to watch it and did not disappoint.
Yeah.
The only part that was a little weird was watching it and going, Diane Lane, you're a much better actress in this. What's going on here? And maybe it was just her character, but she was like over the top, kind of forced and just weirdly out of place for the tone of all the other characters. Maybe that was intentional, but like the acting was a little weird.
Yeah.
She was just a cartoon character almost. It was strange. But anyway, movie itself, great vibes, and you're like, oh, they're gonna it's what you expect, but at the same time it's exciting with all the Coast Guard stuff in it and everything. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I
I'm
just
glad
felt
you
like I got
enjoyed
a
that.
big
Yeah.
run of 90s-esque movies and really enjoyed it. So
Sounds like a fun time.
that was essentially my weekend outside of getting fit.
Nice.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right.
How about you guys?
Well, I'll go, but I was going to say, let's pop out a couple of those questions
Yes.
we had. So I saw one was, what cars going in our booth?
Yes, that's a great question.
So if you guys have been watching Freddie's channel, Ask Tavarish, he has been building a 488 Ferrari, right?
no, it'd be a
458?
430.
430.
I'm pretty sure it's
white,
a 430.
White Ferrari 430. Scudera.
Okay, I was thinking of the
Scuderia.
black one. Let's get the
It's
white
the.
one. Now I
It
gotta
was
check.
black. Now it's white.
Okay, it's a 430.
'Kay.
Yeah, Dane, you have the cologne.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
I
Ferrari
got the
Scuderia.
Scuderia.
You're gonna have to wear that. That's gonna be Dane's.
I just wanted to make sure I
Dane's
had the
scent
right
profile
one, but yeah.
for SEMA.
Maybe you can go up to Freddie and spray him with it, and he'll go, "Oh my God, what are you doing? That smells horrible." And Dane goes, "I just wanted to set the
No, he's
vibe."
in there
Oh my
spraying
God.
it in the car.
Yeah.
And Freddie's like, "Please stop that, Dane."
Please stop that. That's a very expensive
Yeah,
upholstery.
it's a 430 Scud.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
yeah.
that's the car we'll have in the booth. It's cool. It's white with a lot of gold pearl in it.
It's a
It's
very
gonna have
clean
bronze wheels. It should be really pretty. He's been doing a really good job with his cars lately. And this is again no slouch. So I'm excited to see this thing. And so we'll have that in the booth. Feel free to stop by and check it out. It's going to be a good time. And then we'll be in the West Hall. For those of you that are going to SEMA, I see that some of the folks, Ricky Colon, saying he's going to stop by and say hello
Hey,
at the
come
booth.
say
We'll be
hi.
excited to see you there, Ricky. So West Hall, it's the new hall, the new West Hall. If you guys haven't gone and checked out, go to semashow.com. You can also download the app. If this is your first time going to SEMA, download the app because that is the easiest way. It gives you a layout of the full place. And you can click on each of the halls and you can search the companies and it'll tell you exactly where their booths are. We are going to be in the West Hall. We'll have a big sign hanging from the ceiling, so you'll see premium microfiber with the Rag Company logos on it. But yeah, we'll be 54211 next to KCX.
Good. I was going to say, the main point is, you're probably, if you're going to SEMA and you watch this show, you're probably already going to be in that hall, though, because it's like the detail.
The West Hall
It's where all the
is the
detailing
detailing hall.
stuff
For
is
those of
gonna
you
be.
that haven't been
Yeah.
and don't know, the West Hall is the detailing hall this year, and that is the main thing. So the West Hall is the newest, biggest hall. Very nice. I know, Anthony, I'm very excited to show you the bathrooms, this facility.
I'm excited to
Quite
see the
nice.
bathrooms, honestly. I think it's going to be a great
Delightful,
time.
enjoyable.
I know. Relaxing.
Yep,
some
very
might even
relaxing
say.
too.
Yeah.
Other thing, something that for those of you that didn't go last year, that is a new thing that they have at SEMA, because a lot of people, this is probably their first time back since 2019.
Yeah.
They have the tunnels now. The Boring Company has built those Tesla tunnels. So
Right.
there are tunnels under the SEMA Convention Center that'll take you from the West Hall to the Central Hall or all the way to South Hall.
So are you just getting in cars?
Yeah, you go downstairs, hop in a car, shoots you through a tunnel.
Who's driving it?
The person driving a Tesla.
Okay, so there's a person driving
There's a person
it.
driving it.
But
so
you're just driving underground?
underground
Who's
through a
cleaning
lighted
these
tunnel.
cars?
I have no idea.
Because that's kind of disgusting
It
when you
is.
think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
But they're going to
Is
be
it
moving
really
lots
that
of people.
different from a taxi cab?
Yeah, honestly. But that's
maybe.
so they've got that.
Or an
So
Uber.
that's a way to get through back and forth between because it is a large space now. There's a lot of stuff. It also now I believe the Boring Tunnel goes to Resorts World. So if you're staying at Resorts World, you can take the Teslas in. It's like a 2-minute ride. It's free too, which is even better. And then of course there's a monorail to get in or any of your taxis,
Sure.
Ubers, all that
You
stuff.
got options.
But we're super excited. We're going to be, again, West Hall. That's where we're going to be. Come check us out. Booth number 54211. Come see Freddie's car.
Yeah.
This weekend, I had a car, and I didn't like it.
Uh-oh.
Let's put it that way.
Just
Like I
fine.
said, there are ghosts
I
in
think
here.
it's sentient behind me. I think
Yeah.
that's the case.
So basically, I had a car show up Friday evening.
Yep.
Took the kids, me and Augie went and got some sodas for Friday night and came back. Carly and I just kind of hung out, chilled out, but the car showed up. This was a customer of mine. I haven't detailed his cars in probably 8 years. I normally, if I don't really remember the customer, if they're not on one of my regulars, I usually don't bring them on.
Okay.
This time, one of my buddies, Wayne, reminded me of this gentleman and said, "Hey, I got somebody who needs you to do his cars." I said, "All right." He goes, "He just bought this new rig. He needs it cleaned." And I said, "I don't like taking on referrals, right? That's my rule." So my buddy Wayne's like, "Look, he can have my spot." And I said,
Doesn't work like that, Wayne.
No,
I hate
'cause
doing that.
Wayne, your spots
"Are
I
your
know what to
spot?
expect.
I know what I'm getting.
With this
Your
other
spot's
guy,
a comfortable spot.
It's a comfortable spot."
Yeah.
So he goes, "Yeah, but you used to do his cars back in the day." I said, okay.
And you're like, remind me why I stopped?
Don't remember his cars. So then he gave me kind of a refresher course. And I
Okay.
said, okay. Wasn't until the guy showed up. When the gentleman showed up, nice guy, saw him, like, oh my gosh, man. Yeah, how are you? Walks me out to a 2011 Ford Expedition EL. King
The
Ranch.
Long boy. King Ranch version. Oh, no. These seats are probably toast.
No, they're the sealed.
Okay. They're
Yeah,
toast.
they
Okay.
King Ranch only
Thank
came.
God.
Those
That's
seats only
right.
came in the truck, I believe, right?
No, they came in all of them, but
Did
those
they?
were the early models.
The,
Okay.
the early ones were
2003,
the
4, 5, 6.
sealed.
Okay.
These are the new sealed.
They learned their
normal.
lesson
They're
fast.
just
Yeah.
tobacco colored
Yeah,
leather.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's black.
It's big.
And it's big.
And,
Big. It's a
yeah.
big-
And it hasn't been, it's been washed. It's been run through a car wash. And he goes, so the gal I bought it from, she used it to carry her kids and her dogs. He goes, she had a partition up. She had the third row folded down. She'd have a partition up to keep the dogs out.
Oh, like a dog barrier.
Dog
Okay.
barrier. And then the kids would ride in the captain's chairs. She had
Okay. Partition, I was thinking limo, and I was like, hold
no,
up.
she had the weather techs. I opened the doors. I'm like, all right, there's weather techs
Weather
on the
techs,
floor. That's
okay.
good. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. I'm looking at all these spots. I'm like,
Kind of like these.
yeah, kind of like these great little weather tech mats we have from
wonder
our
where
friends
those
at
came
Shane's
from.
Shine Shop. And so I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, looking at the seats. I'm like, it's actually not bad. Right? So I'm like, this is going to be pretty
so you're
easy.
surprising yourself.
Yeah, I'm
so
like,
far. It's
all right.
Okay.
I look at the hood. The hood's kind of faded.
Oh.
And I go, all right, I'm going to have to do something about that. And I pop up on the roof. Roof's pretty much toast. And I go, hey, your roof's pretty much gone. And he goes, that's all right. I understand. No big deal. He goes,
Nobody
this is going to
sees
be
it anyway.
This is going to be a troop carrier.
Oh.
I said, okay. And what it is, he said it's going to be their rig carrier for their crews. So he runs wildland firefighter crews.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, honestly, I'm not going to use it as a 6-passenger, 7-passenger vehicle. I'm going to use it as a 4-passenger vehicle that can carry gear. And he goes, so I'm just going to keep it like that.
Well, the
Those
EL
seats
is
down.
suburban size. It's
Yeah.
huge.
And he goes, I'll probably put a roof basket on so we can carry stinky stuff and things like that. And he goes, I'm going to get a big mat for the back. He goes, but the problem is it smells like dog when I get in it.
Yeah.
And I said, ooh, okay. Pop the back. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Dog hair. And then I popped the covers, and it's like
Yeah.
piles of dog hair and chunks of dog hair. And I
Oh.
should have taken photos, but I didn't.
They ever say what
You're just
kind
going to
of
have to
dogs?
believe me.
It's always fun to guess.
So anyway, I look at it and I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks, man. Have a good night. He leaves. I look at Carly and I go, dang it.
It's got to be a long one.
This is going to suck. It's just one of those where I'm like, in my head, right off the bat, I go, 10 hours. This car's going to take me 10 hours. I'll have 5 in the interior and probably another 5 on the outside with the wash and everything.
Okay.
So I woke up
Big. I
Yeah.
I hate big vehicles.
Yeah.
I hate
so
them.
I'm just
I
like,
hate 'em, man.
I'm just like not happy.
Yeah.
So Saturday morning, I wake up. I go, I'm going to get right on this. I'm not even going to waste any time. Carly, I'm going to, like, you feed the kids. Like, I'm going to be out there working.
Yeah.
So I started washing, got the whole thing washed, covered in overspray, clayed the whole car, got everything done, got it washed. Door jambs were filthy. Didn't do the motor or anything, but just washed a lot. Pulled it into my garage, started blowing out the interior. Just dog hair,
Yeah.
dog hair,
Yeah.
dog hair out of every little nook and cranny, and vacuuming. I vacuumed the whole car before I started blowing, which is something I don't do. But I had that much hair in there, and then I just kept going and going and going. And then I steamed everything, cleaned everything, got everything going, figuring it out, getting stuff done. Got stopped. 5th hour.
By
Interior done. And I said, that's enough for today. Because I started cramping really bad. Elbows, shoulders, knees.
that's when you got
Temperature changed. The barometric pressure had changed
Yeah.
in the it was a storm
Valley.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Your body.
And I was
knew.
my
Here it comes.
bones were going, there's a storm a brewing. And so
Oh,
I
knees acting up.
oh, my old knees are getting there. So I said, all right, I'm done for the night. We had talked about going to a movie.
Yeah.
Carly was like, I don't think we should. I said, all right.
You and the wife having a little me time, right?
Yeah, it gets
Movie
canceled
theater.
every time.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So I said,
Sorry
well, what
to hear
about
that.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, I don't want to. We'll see. We'll think about it. And I said, all right.
She probably had a lot going on over the weekend. She's probably really busy.
Doing laundry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said, well, maybe tomorrow when I get the truck done, we can do something. I'll call my folks. They were already, my parents were on the hook, ready to rock. They were like, you let us
they're
know.
ready to go.
We're going to do this.
Take
Love
those
to take
kids.
the children.
Yeah.
Sunday, wake up, same thing. I'm going to bust ass, get this truck done, get it finished. I'd already done a test spot, so I knew exactly what I was going to do the next day. So I popped in there, slapped on some pads,
Did
and
you?
got to work.
What combo did you use?
Well, so this one I used my normal combo because it was really the only thing that worked.
Yeah.
Rupes coarse wool,
Yeah.
and not Protect, but I used Last Cut.
Nice.
okay.
You were
Yeah.
pumping and dumping.
Yeah, pumping and dumping.
This is black paint on a 2011 Ford.
It was brown, it was like root beer. actually.
I know that color.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's dark on this.
Yeah, so polished the whole car out, got it all done, just bead makered the whole thing.
Yeah. that's the way
Finished
to
it
do
out, just knocked it out with some bead maker. Had all the tires, wheels dressed, everything done. Got the interior vacuum, did a final vacuum, did glass, got everything done.
You were blowing out everything with compressed air, weren't
hustling, yeah.
you? Was all that hair flying around?
It was awful.
Dust,
It was in my
dust,
mouth
sick.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Got it all done.
I know
pulled
what it
out.
looks like
Yeah.
based off.
It's all white
Itchy
hair.
for days afterwards.
Pulled it out, got done. Carly was at the store. I said, I'm done. It's 3 o'clock. Calling my folks.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a movie.
Yeah.
Bam.
She goes, I don't want to do that. I said, well, what do you want to do? I'm going to call my parents and drop the kids off. She goes, nothing. I'm not feeling all that great tonight. And I said, oh, okay. She goes, I'm just a little kind of depressed. And I go, about what? She goes, about how we can't ever go out.
Yeah.
And I said, that makes no
That
sense
doesn't
to
make
me.
any sense. You're like,
That's
yeah,
literally what I'm trying
Staring
to do.
the opportunity in the
literally
face
what I'm trying to do right
You
now.
You should be
What
the
I'm
one to
doing.
initiate with saying, I don't want to do anything tonight. And then she'll be like, I feel like we never do anything. You go, you're right. Let's go do something.
Yeah. should
Now
do
I
that.
don't want.
Flip it around.
Flip it around, right? Sometimes you have to play these mind games, right?
Right.
I
So-
don't do that.
So I was like,
Contrarian.
okay, fine.
Yeah. You can't win.
No,
Can't win.
not allowed to win.
So I said, well, I'm going to take a shower
You deserve a shower.
because
Yeah.
I'm filthy.
You deserve a shower,
cold,
and you deserve
freezing,
you
just
deserve a shower
spent-
Pepsi.
I do deserve a shower.
Wow.
One
Pepsi.
open in the shower.
Haven't had one of
Yeah.
those in a while. So I did. I love a good cold, ice cold shower Pepsi in the hot shower. So
Smart man.
cracked one of those bad boys.
Refreshing.
I've got a little shelf and everything, so I can set it up there. It
yeah.
works
Yeah.
great. So get that. I'm like, this is whatever. I just worked 10 hours, busted my butt, make a little extra income for the family.
Deliberately
planned
trying to go
on
faster
trying
so
to do,
that-
yeah, so we can go do this. And you're telling me you're depressed because we're not going to do this when I'm telling you we're going. And I have everything scheduled and ready to rock and roll.
These are the kinds of things that make a brain
So-
want to explode.
Yeah. So nature is merciless and cruel, says Scott Matern. And
Yeah.
Demo says so is marriage.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carly and I had a good talk after that because I told her my feelings. This is kind of weird. that
Good
we're not doing
communication.
this.
That's important.
And she's like, it's just, it's something I just don't feel like it. We should go. And I said, all right, that's fine. We'll go again on another night. Called
Yeah.
my folks. They said, not a problem. Pick a night, any night. We're free. Anytime next weekend, we're free. I said, well, I got
Yeah.
another car next weekend. I don't really want to do this. So, yeah.
Oh my God, that freaking comment.
I have a picture. I can
2
picture
liter
it.
Mr. Pibb is so
Mr. Pibb.
specific.
I'm a Dr. Pepper man, but not lately because I'm trying to be healthier. Mr. Pibb, though, is just,
Dane, there's
Poor
Diet
boy.
Dr. Pepper.
There is Diet
Oh,
Dr.
God.
Pepper.
It's 36 flavors.
I know, but it's not the
Is
same.
it 36 flavors in a Dr. Pepper or 42?
I don't know.
Liz
Jack
and
would
I love Dr. Pepper.
You know who else loves Dr. Pepper? Jack from Star and Gloss.
Jack Star and Gloss
Loves
loves
himself some DP.
He's a man of culture.
fan.
He's a man of taste.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so anyway, that was Sunday afternoon. So I got out of the shower. Carly's laying in the bed, looking at her phone. She goes, "The kids really want to go dig." I said, "Where?" She goes, "At the schoolyard." Augie comes in. I got a shovel and this trenching tool. Want to go dig a hole? And I said,
I bet you do.
I have just finished doing the yard. I also did the yard this weekend. Got it ready to
wow.
put to bed.
Oh, yeah. You got to get it prepped for
Sleep
winter.
Got to prep for winter. Prep because we're leaving town.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Got it all finished. Also during this time where I finished the detail. So she goes, "I need you to take them." I said, "To where?" She goes, "Schoolyard." I said, "All right." threw the go-kart in the back, the truck.
Yeah.
So we'll take this, 2 charged batteries. You guys can go ride this around too. So Hadley drove the go-kart. Augie dug himself a hole. Dug himself a hole to his shoulders.
Wow, that's pretty good.
He got in there pretty deep. It was pretty awesome to watch. When I told him it was time to go and fill the hole back in, he was very upset at me. Started screaming,
What
crying,
did he think was going to happen?
telling me what a horrible dad I was.
He's a kid. He
And-
wasn't thinking that far ahead.
No, and I was like, dude, I let you come hang out in a cold room and enjoy yourself, or cold building, or cold area.
Yeah.
You dug a hole all the way to your shoulders, dude, in sand. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
It's time to go home, man. Dad's cold. Dad's been working hard. Let's do this. Tears, sadness, frustration, anger, all that stuff.
lot of
Hadley,
feelings.
on the other hand, woo, living her best life, riding that go-kart. So
She's great.
Amazing.
we went back home. I made dinner, chilled out. Carly and I watched some Game of Thrones. I was happy about that. Enjoyed that.
Actual
It was
Game
a
of
good
Thrones or
episode.
House of the Dragon?
House of the Dragon.
Okay.
Episode was good. Watched that.
That's the
Said
finale
that
now.
was delightful. Enjoyed it. And then just
Hot
went to
D,
bed.
baby.
That
Get
was-
yourself some of that hot D.
Yeah, it was.
Randy
that
was
was it.
asking you about costumes for the
So
kids.
the kids are off the shelf costumes. So Hadley this year is going to be a devil.
Yeah.
Augie is
Nice.
going to be the Grim Reaper.
That
Nice.
tracks. Yeah.
So that's what they're going to do this year for Halloween. They're pretty stoked about it. And that's awesome. You're trying to build an excavator costume on a foam
Excavator,
board.
yeah.
That's
this
amazing.
afternoon. Randy,
Could you
touche,
control the
sir.
arm at all? That'd be kind of cool. Oh my God, G. Davis.
Dr. Pepper is the EVD.
Oh, come on,
soda.
dude.
That's hilarious.
Oh.
So anyway, that was my weekend.
Yeah.
It was fine. Whatever. It was good.
All right.
I have another weekend this weekend, another coding job. I'm excited for this one. I'm hoping that it's just a coding job. Much better. I just am tired of dog hair.
Well, watch what happens. You're going to go into that. You're going to be ready to do that coding. You're going to have your time set aside, and you think, this is going to be a fairly straightforward job. That's when it bites you. That's also when, finally, the family's going to decide, okay, time to go out. Let's do something. And you'll be like, I can't. I got to do that. Well, you never want to go do anything. And then,
Well,
Yeah,
the,
that's
well,
what
the good news, Levi, is that you're going to be able to get out of town next weekend.
I do
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
get out of town
Yeah,
You
for
and
a
the
week.
there
boys.
is that.
Hang out with the
boys.
gang. Anthony and I ain't gonna be having shower Pepsis in the fridge.
Yep,
In the
yep.
shower together.
I was
And
like,
an amazing
together.
Hotel room.
sense. An amazing sense. Yeah.
Our room's gonna smell good,
It always smells
and it'll
nice.
have shower sodas.
okay.
So,
Establish okay.
but Dane, if you want a shower soda, you have to come to our place to shower.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I'm only allowed to have Mr. Pibb now. So
And you will have to use our body wash that we provide
Yeah.
you. And it might be something like bourbon reserve body wash that
Ooh,
smells
speaking
like
of, I do have
alcohol.
to- I do
I
have to
already
get my-
have something
So
like that.
the other thing that we do that I think is great is we do create our scent platforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have 3 distinct scent platforms in which we create for ourselves,
Yeah.
which I'd like to bring in Brodel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'd like to bring in Jimmy
Yeah.
Yeah.
this year into this.
House of
What are you going to
Scents.
be wearing?
House of the Scent.
The House of the Scent.
Yeah.
What are you going to be wearing? What are you going to be washing with?
Yeah.
That's the most important because you don't want them to conflict with each other.
Walking out the
You
red
got to
carpet.
be able
Who
to
are
have.
you washing?
You got to be able to wash properly
Yeah.
with a good fresh scent.
It's true. Every time.
It's either got to be that's going to be your undertone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you've got to be able to put the cologne on top.
Yeah.
That's going to have a
Compliment. Yeah.
nice complement to the body. And I want people understanding every time when they walk away, they go, "Dang, those Rag Company guys smell great."
Yeah.
You want
so
them
for
to
example,
not let
for
you
example,
go.
if I'm using like a bergamot style wash, right? So
Right,
it's gonna be
correct.
citrus based. I'm gonna be battling that, or basically not battling that, but I'm gonna be complementing that with something like amber or ambroxan, or
Right.
maybe a little bit of like a sandalwood or some type of darker tone
Correct.
to battle that brightness, right? And I'll bring it together.
Yeah,
It's
and
gonna
I'll be
smell-
vice versa. If I'm doing something like sandalwood or something like that
Yeah, the
for
wash.
a wash, I'm going to be bringing it the opposite
something
way,
bright.
a little more citrusy,
Yeah. Gee,
nice
no.
light. Yeah. Dane is going to be bringing a KFC Lupin gravy flavored
naughty bits wash.
Dane, that's the wrong scent profile.
Oh my gosh! Somebody
I don't
smells like
want any
somebody
of
smells
this.
like
Chicken and
fast
potatoes.
food.
Tastes like chicken and potatoes.
Does your guys' seatbelt get greasy? You know that film that your seatbelt
You
gets?
should stop washing yourself with KFC juice.
You guys ever get that film behind your ears?
Yeah, it's so
Nope.
funny. Anyways, so I guess I'll jump
How
into
was
my
your
weekend.
weekend?
Yeah, have at it.
This was another busy weekend for you, like last
Yeah.
weekend, where you had 47 people at your home.
I know. It actually wasn't as busy this weekend, which is good. But I did a bunch of stuff around the house. So what I ended up doing was Friday night. It was actually relatively calm. Got home and me and Katie were like, "Should we watch a movie tonight?" And she's like, "I don't really want to watch a movie." I'm like, "Well, I'm just gonna see if there's a certain movie that's available, and I'm gonna see what happens." And so I searched that massive talent, unbearing weight.
Yes.
What's it
The
called?
unbearable weight of massive talent.
So I searched it thinking, okay, we're going to have to rent this if we do watch it. And Katie was like, she was not really wanting to watch a movie. She's like, I'm not really in the mood to watch a movie. And I said, oh, here, I found it. I clicked it and it says, oh, this requires a Star subscription. I'm like, oh, we don't have a Star subscription, right? But it said watch now. And I was like, well, I clicked it and it started playing. And I said, oh my God. Do we have a Star subscription? She's like, no, we probably just signed my mom up for one since we're using her account. I said, awesome. So
She can figure it
there's no
out
going
later.
back now. We got to watch this thing.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching that movie. I thought it was pretty good. I really like what's his name?
Gael Garcia.
No, the other guy. The guy that plays the Mandalorian. Who's the guy that plays the
Pedro
Mandalorian? Pedro.
Sorry, no, I'm
Is it-
mixing up.
is it
Something.
Gael Garcia.
No, it's Pedro. It's
Is it
something.
Pedro Pascal?
That's what I thought it was
Pascal,
Pedro
yeah.
Pascal.
So, anyways, I love that guy. I think he's hilarious. I was wishing it was going to be more Nick.
We're right. Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
I was wishing it was going to be more Nick
Mandalorian guy,
Cagey than it was, right? Like, I wanted it to be like, okay, Nick Cage. I want it to be more ridiculousness of Nick Cage, since obviously the movie's
I
about
thought
him.
it was ridiculous.
It wasn't ridiculous enough. I wanted him to be more self-deprecating in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like more like, yeah, I've made some bad financial decisions. Not playing. He literally played Nick Cage as Nick Cage in the movie, but like as you would imagine he would be in acting. Like it was acting. It wasn't like I wanted it to be a
I
little bit
love
less.
the line though that he was like, "I've always worked."
Yeah.
Like I've never it's a job. I do it as a job. And like why does everybody hate that it's like
Yeah.
they think I'm making all these cheap movies. Like I'm taking acting jobs. Like would they say the same about a carpenter? Like he's only
No,
made
I'm not
5
going to make
chairs.
that. It's not.
Yeah.
It's only been 5 chairs.
There's a couple good parts in it, but like overall, I thought it kind of fell on its face towards the end there. I'm like, oh, I didn't like where this went
it's
at
a
all.
smaller scale movie than I think some people
Yeah.
might be anticipating.
I
It's
thought it
not.
was gonna
It's not
be.
like a Face Off or anything. It's just take that, pare it down a little bit, and just make it more character driven.
Would you have preferred to watch Paddington 2, Dane?
Oh my God, Paddington!
I love
2.
Paddington too. It's a
I've
perfect movie.
I've never seen it.
Weirdly,
You
I've
should watch
heard
it
that
with
so
Lucy.
many times, and I
It's-
don't understand. I
it's
feel
got
like I just need
100%
to
or
watch it.
something on Rotten
Yeah,
Tomatoes. It's
apparently,
beautiful.
everyone who's ever watched it says says that it's amazing.
It's the best movie in the world.
But it's a sequel to a.
It's a hit. Best
So the first movie was all right, but the sequel, oh my
Oh
God!
no, the second one's amazing.
So
Do you need to watch the
Um,
first one?
No.
did that on
Okay.
Friday, and then Saturday woke up my neighbor, right, the founder of Turbonetics was
You
having
knocked on his door?
having a garage sale, right? Turbonetics
Yeah.
and Precision Turbo, right?
Right.
And so I see him having a garage sale. His garage is open, and I see a bunch of people pulling up over there and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go say hi to Bob and Bobby, right?
Right.
Go check on
You're
see how their sales
definitely
doing.
going to see something cool.
It was a
in that
cold
garage.
morning and
Right.
windy on Saturday, and so I walked over there, and I'm kind of expecting like maybe there's gonna be a bunch of like cool car parts, or maybe there's gonna be
got a lot
like
of-
vintage,
A lot of
stuff, right?
turbos for your car.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I'm just thinking like vintage something,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like
There's
there's
a found full turbo kit.
Here's an impeller. Here's a
yeah.
there's got to be something
Or
cool.
something you can hang on the wall.
yeah.
So I walk
piece of
over
art.
there, and they're doing the garage sale in their garage, and I walk into their tables, and I'm like,
What?
this stuff is all so strange. What is all this stuff? There was an entire table full of dragon figurines.
It was some
right?
heavy nerd stuff.
like you know, like the dragons, like the ones that are like, you know,
Yeah.
like
Dragon
like,
bust,
like
dragon
the
head, dragon-
crazy. They were like big sculptures and things
Yeah.
like that. I don't know what the heck they're made
was
of.
there not
A
like
lot of them were probably
hand
ceramic.
painted? Yeah, ceramic, hand painted.
the picture you sent? I showed it to Liz and I said, "Is that a heavy metal figurine? That tall one? The
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, I don't.
But it had
so,
dragon wings, so I was like,
So
I don't think so.
know what any of this stuff was, but I assumed
If
it
you
was,
know heavy metal, you know.
I assumed it was that of their late son who passed away. But I went through and checked a bunch of other stuff. My favorite thing was that he had a whole box of old spark plugs, right? Vintage spark plugs. I'm talking like, dude, these things are so old that the packaging is all browned out and everything.
brand new
so like from the
But
60s and 70s.
they were like brand new, and he was like, "Yeah, $2 a piece." And I'm just like,
It's more than a normal spark plug.
I'm like, Bob. I'm like, I know these are vintage, but I'm like, what would anybody even do with these, right?
It's not like they're better than what I can just go get at the store. Yeah, but these are.
God bless them. It's just their pricing was kind of just weird and random and all over the place on certain things. Like certain things just didn't make sense. Like he had a bunch of like
$10.
old muscle car magazines from like the 80s and 90s, right? That were 10 cents a piece or whatever it was, right? Which I'm like, hey, those
Pretty dope.
are pretty sweet.
That's
And
a
they're
man cave
worth
material
money.
right there.
Like, and those
Those
are
are
probably worth money.
More
but
than
I
the
don't think,
single spark plug.
Yeah, but I don't think that the $2 spark plug from that's slightly used, because there was some that were there's some that were slightly used.
We put it back in the box.
So it was just kind of funny. So I was just like, you guys are crazy. And so after that, I went back home and I was talking to Katie. I said, well, what do you want to do today? And she's like, well, I'd really like to go see a movie. And I said, okay.
Now you want to see a
We
movie.
said, what movie would you like to see? And she's like, she's like, I'm in a scary movie mood. And I said, I love that. What scary movie are you wanting to see? And she's like, I want to see Barbarian. And I'm like, Barbarian? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the Justin Long movie, right? Because I had watched the trailer for that movie. I even showed Dane the trailer.
Yeah.
It literally says, from the people that brought you Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Lego movie.
Yeah.
This is Justin Long's new movie called Barbarian, right? So, but
The trailer
thing
oddly
was,
does not give anything away. Credit to them, because usually trailers these days just spoil everything.
trailer doesn't give anything away.
This you have no clue what's
So
happening. Really,
I'm like, okay, this is so I'm like, okay, I could be down, and I didn't watch any more trailers. I just said, okay, I know what you're talking about, and I think I did say I wanted to see that. What's funny is that movie came out September 20-something, right, or whatever it is, right? It is already pretty much all the way out of theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, any theater that has a showtime, it's like a showtime once a day, either at night or in the morning. So
Because I thought, ooh, that'd be a good movie for Sunday afternoon.
Dude.
And I went and saw it, and I'm like, oh, that was
not an option.
When Anthony saw it, was really the only time it was playing.
Yeah, so I saw it Saturday. we searched all the theaters. The only theater was available was the Regal Theater on Overland, right? Which is the old hot spot, right?
Yeah,
the
that's the
creme de la creme
best
of
place.
Boise's finest, literally down the street from Boise's finest.
Literally.
But it was a hopping spot, right? And I said, Katie, it's playing at 1. Would you want to go here? She said, yeah. So we head there, and what's funny is we're pulling up to this place, and you can't help but feel there's always those places in life that are
Brings back memories.
Yes, yeah. So it's those places in life that will bring back memories, but they hit you differently than, like, you remember the good times, how poppin' something was, how crazy it was, and then you see it in this kind of depressed
state of decay,
and you go, dang, this used to be the coolest place to hang out. There's not too many areas around town that I feel like that about, but that is definitely one of
the memories.
those.
It's the old memories.
It's the memories.
But
Yeah.
I remember
like it's
going to see the first Fast and Furious there
Yeah.
in the theater,
Cruising
down there, and them having a car show in the front of the theater
That's great.
that morning for the first episode, for the first viewing of Fast and Furious.
That's
and
fun.
going, and they're playing it in like 3 theaters. Like,
That's really fun.
And how awesome that was, and how packed it was. And it was 1999, and I'm like, holy crap. And I'm driving in with my truck.
Yeah.
It rolled down a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pulling into that, and my buddy's with me and his girlfriend, and I'm like, let's go do this. Let's go
No,
check
I
this
remember
out.
2005. I was 15, going to that place like my first few times and being like, "Wow, this is where the cool kids hang
It's
out."
all
Right?
neon
Like
lights
my
and
taking my date to go see Titanic opening night,
Huge
which was
foyer.
opening night of that entire theater complex.
Wow.
Yeah.
And going, and they had the fountain.
Oh, man.
They had the lights on. They had the sculptures, and I was like, wow.
It's easy to see
This
how
used
that
to be a
place was
cow
impressive.
field, and look what they built out of it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, Anyway, we got there, and like I said, it all hit me with all these memories. And I go, Katie, because Katie had the same memories too. And she's like, because she was like, yeah, I love Thursday Night Thunder, TNT, and there was, it was Thursday night, yeah,
Thursday Night Thunder,
TNT, right?
Yeah.
And there was, because they had the arcade there, and they had, what's the Legends, the bar and grill, which was popping. So basically, all the dads that wanted just to drink and drop their kids off, they'd say, go see a
kids,
movie,
you go have fun.
go
I'm
to the
gonna hang
arcade,
over here with,
I'm going to go drink
Bob.
beers and watch
Remember
the
the
game.
Prono Pups?
Prono Pups. I mean, the arcade was fantastic too.
Yen
for what
Ching
it was.
back in the day.
Yen Ching was popping, and then
Smoky
there was
Mountain.
there was a Moxie Java there for a little bit, and then the Moxie Java turned into, which was a coffee joint, which eventually turned into a Jamba Juice. Wasn't mad about that.
No, the Jamba Juice was next door.
Oh, was it next door? Okay.
Moxie was always on the corner.
There was both of them. So both great.
Yeah, everything was good. They had great. Everything was good. They had the Pollo Ray. I used to go eat lunch there all the time when I worked at Boise's Best because it was right there.
It was a freaking popping spot, man. It was great. So we walk through there, and I go, Katie, I'm like, what do we have here? There's an insurance company that moved into one of the
restaurants.
One of the restaurant spaces now. It's an insurance company, and I'm like, the arcade's completely gone. Legends is completely gone. There's nothing there. They still have what's left of the IMAX theater, and then. Other than that, though...
Didn't they have like a failing comedy club over in the corner?
Yeah, well, there's a failing comedy club, and then there's also a Cajun place that kind of tried to open up there inside that little food court area. And then there's a new place called Crab.
Oh, Crab.
Oh, Crab in the in the old McGrath's Fish House.
Yeah, because you can't get rid of that fish smell, so they had to replace it with more fish, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
So
you could have taken Katie to Twin Peaks for lunch. That's still going.
Scenic views.
Got scenic views.
Well, there's a reason why that's unfortunately still going, but yeah, that Black Bear Diner is dying off pretty bad though, and so everything around the area
used to be a Black Angus.
It's just freaking sad, man. Because I go, God, this was my youth here, right? And it's
Rennie Doyle's favorite restaurant in all of Boise, Idaho is right there, Goodwood.
I know. Oh, yeah. I know. That's a great place. But we move on though,
Trip down memory lane.
We get into the theater, and I just start taking pictures of everything, and I start sending them to the group chat right here at work. And
I felt like we
were
on the
very
date with you.
initially confused, just like, what?
No, I enjoyed it. I was ready to go.
It was a pretty much dead theater, but like the vibes were still there, and I was sending it, and Glenn's like, why is he sending pictures of the movie theater? I said, Glenn, you don't understand.
Right.
I'm having a surge.
It's an existential crisis
of memories. Right?
He's having an old man moment right now.
And I'm like, and it makes me sad because this place was so freaking packed on a weekend, on a night, that like you literally had to wait in line. You had to get here 30 minutes to an hour early. Remember we used to say we had to get to the movies. We got to get there an hour early.
You would get the newspaper. You would find which one of your friends had the newspaper, and you would go, "Did you have a newspaper? No. Crap, I'll buy one at lunch."
No, I printed the Fandango list.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I'd go
before
to Fandango.com and print out the movie times.
I didn't want to wait for the 56K
but
modem to load up.
Before that, 56K, you couldn't download it fast enough. It was faster to go grab a paper for 50 cents,
faster.
buy a newspaper, and you would run in, buy a newspaper, pull everything out till you got to the section that just had the movie times. And you go, what do we want to watch? What do you want to see? Mm-hmm. Well, this starts at this time, so we could go there early, get tickets, grab food.
See, that was always the move.
Because that way we know it's not going to be sold out because it's an hour. We're an hour ahead.
You used to have to be worried about tickets selling out.
Yeah. Now,
remember that?
not so much because everybody's at home on TikTok. So
anyway, moving on. So what ended up happening was we got stuck in Theater 8, right? They put us in Theater 8. I've never been in Theater 8 at that movie theater. Maybe not in years. I don't know how long it's been. But I remember.
It's fun when you get one of the back wings.
Yeah, and they
like,
which we go through this back wing. I remember
yes.
Yes. So we go to this back wing, and what's funny is Katie already she got her nachos. We found out both of the bathrooms are closed for renovation.
No, they've still they were closed a month ago when I went with the kids and Carly to go to a movie.
They've opened them again.
And I was like, what the hell?
So the men's restroom is actually a women's restroom, and so there's no urinals. I just walked in there to a stall.
No, they have no, it's a piece of paper. They have a piece of paper that says men's room on it.
Well, you're like, I don't know if I should trust that.
It was like a joke. The dress of the woman on the thing.
You're like, which is it?
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute.
Whatever.
I feel like I'm being tricked.
Right.
So
You would be. Dane.
Theater 8 is untouched, right?
Yeah.
It is untouched by the
Time.
new modern. Yeah, it's untouched by time. There's no new seats in it, right? Which is fine. I don't care. I'm down to sit in the
Yeah,
old.
the bigger
tight
arenas,
seats.
But
they
once you
put new
do,
seats in.
boy, if you're a
So-
larger guy, you definitely notice.
No new
right
seats,
away.
no new fancy anything, right? And my favorite part was that when we were watching the previews, Katie looks at me and she says, does this look right to you? And I'm kind of like,
You
pull my
showed me
glasses
the
off,
theater.
and
You're
I
cleaning it.
look back,
You're cleaning
and
it.
I go, oh my God, Katie, I don't think that this projector is in HD.
Or it just wasn't, the lens wasn't focused
wasn't
on
focused
it.
or something. And so I'm like, yeah, this looks like there's like this distortion, right? Of this, and I'm like, is this theater so old? Like, did they dust this off this year?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Now,
did they
you
Did
guys
they
are
forget it was
fans of
here?
the Eagle Lux, which is quite possibly one of the newest theaters,
nicest
in the
theaters,
valley.
Bougie.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So,
Yeah, so-
but the thing is
Slumming at the Edward.
I'm down for the other real theaters. I'm down for the cheap ones as
Yeah,
well because I know
it
what
used
I'm
to be
getting,
fun
right?
going
to a
But I'm
cheap
saying
movie
I'm
and-
paying
yeah.
a
You're
normal
paying
price
full price
to, you know what I'm getting.
to go in a broken theater.
So we're sitting there, and I say, and these initial credits and whatever that are starting to show, I'm like, or the intro scenes of other previews and whatnot. Everything's feeling really old, right? The
Right.
smell of that
Yeah.
particular theater smelled old.
It's
The
probably
seats,
trapped in, like,
they're those
2005
velour,
or
like
something.
velour greenish, like they've faded seats,
Kind of a minty color.
and me and Katie are there's like 4 people in the theater, including me and Katie. There's like 2 other people down the bottom. And I'm like, oh my God, this just feels super like weird and eerie and old, right? Then they start playing this trailer for a new movie, right? Called House Party, right?
Show me the trailer.
No.
Of it. Wait, this is a new movie? The only clue was that it had like a modern Lamborghini Huracan appear at one point. And I'm like, everything else just looks straight out of the 90s.
So they play this House Party preview, and keep in mind the lens, the screen is slightly out of focus, like it doesn't look crystal clear, right? And I look
Feels
at Katie,
intentional at this
and I
point.
said, what freaking year is it right now? This House Party movie. I swear to God, guys, watch the preview. It's a movie from 2005 that was filmed in 2021. I mean, like literally, it's the same movie. Like person that talks over movies. Like this winter,
Yeah.
get
Oh my
prepared for the House Party.
G. Davis Kid and Plays House Party.
And so we were dying laughing because I'm like, what the heck's going on, right?
Yeah.
So movie starts. I will say that Barbarian is probably one of the best scary movies I've seen in years.
Wow.
I don't want to give anything away other than it's worth watching. It's worth going to the theater for.
You said it's funny at
It
times.
is, it is creepy. It's eerie. It's not a cheap jump scare movie. It's got a great story to
I like
it.
what I'm hearing.
I love the acting in it is great because it's got what's his name from It in it.
I don't know.
The guy with the creepy smile, right? Something Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's great. He's just great. Like his tone is very creepy as
Yeah.
is. So like being in the movie just works really well. But it's filmed, or the plot is that it's in the suburbs of like Detroit, Michigan, and obviously that scared the crap out of me because I'm like, I'm never going to Detroit, Michigan. That place looks horrifying, right? Why would anybody ever live there,
Yeah.
right? Especially seeing like the rundown area. And I'm like, well, it's
I'm
a movie.
sorry to everybody who,
Right.
who
Sorry if
lives
you're
there
from
right
Detroit,
now.
Michigan. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You should move. And so, watching this, and it's scary. It's dark. It's like those moments of don't do that, and they do it. But then it gets hilarious. About halfway through, I'm like crying, laughing because I'm like, how the heck did they flip this thing where I went from being terrified to now I'm dying of laughter?
Yeah. No, Carly and I love that
and
stuff.
it completely like removes the scary parts of that, and then it gets scary again.
Because
And
you
it
let
gets
your guard
terrifying.
down.
Yeah.
But it's too good, guys. It's worth seeing. It's kind of weird. It's strange. But we watched the movie because we had dropped Lucy off at my parents' house. After that, we left. Me and her still talking about it. Went and picked up my daughter at my parents. My mom is like, I want to see a scary movie. Hey, maybe me and your dad will go tonight and go see a scary movie. Let's go see that one you just saw. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't know, Mom. I don't know if you're going to really like this. I don't know if this is what you're kind of thinking of. And she's like, oh, stop. She's like, it's pretty good. You liked it, right?
I love your mom.
I liked it. I thought it was great, right? So
But what's right for me may not be for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
Trying to warn a
after that,
person.
I went home. I started doing stuff around the house. I started prepping the RSX I did do a wash on it, get it all ready. So ended up doing a wash in the afternoon. I found out my mom eventually went and saw it, right? She
man.
sent me a few texts during the movie, right? She says, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Oh, God. Oh, God. What the heck am I watching? Right? I'm like, yeah. And then she goes, then she calls me. She goes, okay, we were dying of laughter in the middle of the movie. That was so, what the heck? Like, why would that happen in a scary movie where it's so funny like that? I'm like, Mom, I'm telling you, it's hilarious. She's like, I can't stop thinking about that movie. I said, did you like it? She's like, well, I don't know if I really liked it, but I mean, it did the job. And I said, yeah. So anyways, highly recommend watching it, whether it's 10 o'clock at night or while you still can in theaters, to enjoy the vibes, because everybody needs to go see a scary movie in the theaters.
In a day theater.
No,
Do it. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of scary movies.
Yeah,
In the
Carly
Last
went and
Action
saw
Hero
Carly went and
theater.
saw Smile like 2 weeks ago.
No, well, Carly needs to
And
get
she
up
was
with
like-
you and go
And
see this movie.
she came back from it and she goes, "We need to go to a movie." And I said,
Everybody's
"That's a great
talking, like,
idea."
Smile
You
and
need to go
Terrifier
see
2
the
and all
freaking-
that
Oh,
stuff.
she
and
said
it's just
Smile is by far one of the creepiest movies, and not a cheap jump scare, Dane.
'Kay,
so
'cause
my
that's my
wife
complaint. Most
so,
of the horror
so we
movies
had
that
a
come
big
out are
conversation
garbage.
about this.
Yeah.
Well, Dane had a big conversation with himself.
Isn't
Yes.
isn't
about
jump
this,
scares.
I
really.
monologued about
So
it.
he seems to think that when we talk about scary movies, we're all about Human Centipede.
Oh no,
Things of
I don't
that
think
nature
You guys
Saw.
are like that. I think that popular culture
But
and the
what-
way American movie theaters
but there
work,
have
when
been-
there's a horror movie that's met with a major theatrical audience,
But there
it's
have been
almost always
massive
garbage.
strides by companies such as A24, things like that.
A24
Production
I
houses
give a pass
who have
to.
been doing some phenomenal, terrifying pieces of film
Okay.
work. Other ones that have been doing really great, the Basque Country. The Basque people, their film network has been building some of the coolest, scariest, but funniest, creepiest films that have been out there. Carly and I have been on a big kick because they're in Basque, which is kind of fun. Netflix
Yeah.
has been playing a ton of them.
Interesting.
But I like to be scared enough. I'm not into gore. I'm not into heavy, silly jump scares for jump scare sake. I want a good story. I want a good purpose, and I
want
would
the
feel like
atmosphere.
Barbarian
That's why I would bother
would fit me
tuning in
just
for this
right.
stuff.
No, Barbarian, you'll love it. Like, you'll love
the
Barbarian. It's
atmosphere
great.
is the most
Yeah.
important.
Like, it's they build a great atmosphere of that movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, did that, and then Sunday I hunkered down and installed the spoiler on my RSX Type S.
It
Nice.
looks good.
Which was a all-day event. I did not know that was going to be an all-day
Of course,
event.
it was an all-day event.
Yeah.
No matter what
Weird.
you did, it was going
Things
to be
when
an
he works
all-day
on
event.
stuff, it becomes an all-day event.
It was an all-day event.
I mean,
And
if he's the
so-
one putting it on there, it's going to be an
What
all-day
I ended up
event.
finding out was the hatch on that car, not original to the car. Didn't know that when I bought the car.
sneaky.
How did you find
And,
that out? Because the VIN doesn't match?
The VIN number, yeah, it has the VIN tag, but the actual number didn't match, right? I went to go pull off the old spoiler, expecting to find a bunch of holes, right,
Right.
from the little deck lid. There's no holes. Well, I'm like, amazing. I don't have to fill any holes. And I go, but
Wait
wait,
a second.
it should have holes. And so then I check and I go, oh my God, back hatch has been replaced, right? Which is funny because when I bought the car, the lady told me, she's like, I had a rear accident, right? It hit the bumper, it dented the hatch a little bit, didn't break the glass, blah, blah, blah. And on the Carfax, it shows rear scratches on bumper, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, not that big of a deal, right? She's like, yeah, I think they just popped out the dent on the hatch. And I remember thinking to myself, kind of unlikely. Normally they wouldn't do that, right?
They probably just
Much
replaced
easier
the hatch.
for them at the time to
probably
just
just
replace
replace
the
the
whole
hatch.
hatch.
And so,
That could've been
anyways,
cheap,
and
though.
so
Yeah.
that's what they did apparently.
Well,
So
you
there's
think
no-
about it. They had, that much space to paint?
Yeah,
And
it's
the
just-
top, and they're like, let's
Yeah,
buy
then-
one of these and
Yeah.
paint it and it'll be a piece of cake instead of popping that dent out.
Well, the good news is I didn't have a bunch of holes in my trunk, right?
Nice.
So I didn't have to fill
Yeah.
anything. And so, but did that, installed there's like a mini spoiler has to go on, and then I had to drill everything for the big one. It's a 2-person job, but nobody wanted to help me from TRC, so I ended
You
up
didn't
doing it.
reach
Yeah,
out.
he never asked me.
I know,
There
it
was
just
never a
unfortunate
question
that I
on
was
the group
just-
text.
yeah,
What are you guys
so-
doing?
I kind of
So,
feel like he only asked.
Sure could
you
use
know,
some help. Does
people
anybody
he
want to
thought
help
could,
me?
Like film for him or something.
No,
Didn't
no.
check with us though.
All we got was a bunch of pictures of
Yeah.
his date with his wife
Yeah.
and some of the after pictures, which I thought was kind of
Yeah.
strange.
That's a little weird.
But
Anyway, so I did that, right, and installed that. It's freaking awesome, man. I love it. I think it looks super, super cool. And so I'll eventually be posting some photos of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It was a good weekend. Barbarian was definitely the top tier of my weekend, and then we ended Sunday night with House of the Dragon.
The finale.
Sucks that we have to wait 2 years. 2 years.
That was an amazing finale.
It's
I
setting
think,
up to be.
I think it was amazing to give us what we need to know going into it. But I'm like, okay, if you guys have to recast new people, I'm going to be pissed because
They said they're not going to. There's no more jumps, time jumps.
I hope they don't, man.
They just needed to
All
get
I know
through a lot
is
of
that,
history very
like,
quickly in this season. So jumped.
They need to give us some action because they didn't give us enough action.
They went light on the action.
They went light on the action.
With the exception of a few kind of unintentionally hilarious moments.
It's going to get crazy.
Yeah. And G. Davis says you'll have more She-Hulk before that. I hope not, G. That was the worst show I've ever seen in my life. And speaking of Phil Anthony, I've never actually seen Daemon Targaryen from House of Dragon.
It's Matt Smith.
QA questions.
It's Matt Smith.
It's Matt Smith in a blonde wig. That's what you need to know.
Yeah.
I did watch a movie this weekend from the original showrunners of Game of Thrones called, was it Rock Gods or Rock Metal Gods or Metal? Something. I texted it to you guys and said, you guys should watch it. It's on Netflix, and it was hilarious.
Okay.
It's a coming-of-age tale of some kids, 3 kids, and they're high schoolers, and they want to become rock gods.
What's the time
basically.
period?
Not right now.
Oh, interesting.
But they're basically.
I think I know what movie you're talking about.
It's really good.
I think I watched it actually.
It's so funny and
just came out recently.
Just recently on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
And just good.
It's the kids. I know exactly. I know. Yeah, I know.
Good movie, and one of those where you're just like, and it was hilarious, more funny than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Nice.
That was great. So,
and then Tom Kirby says, I would have thought that Anthony could have asked the family in his attic for help on this play.
That would have been smart.
You would have thought so.
Metal Lords, that's what it's called.
Lords, yeah, I know. I watched
Metal
it,
Lords.
yeah.
Okay, I have seen that in the previews. Okay.
Yeah, but anyways, so that was my weekend. That's it, man. So I think coming here next week, we'll be at SEMA. We're going to be here for Q&A Thursday, obviously. Getting ready for Halloween itself.
Yeah. There won't be any Q&A. We won't do a podcast or Q&A Thursday because we're going to, really the only last person that's going to be here.
We're not
even going to do a Q&A Thursday because
you're talking this week?
Brodo's going to be next week.
That's
we're
what
doing
I'm
this
saying.
Q&A.
We will do it this week. I don't want you guys
week,
not tuning in because
but next week, no podcast, no Q&A Thursday because Brodo will be with us.
Yeah.
It'd be really next day Nate by himself doing it. If the production team wants to do one, they can. If not, I'm not worried about it. We're going to be at SEMA. Save your questions. We're going to be going live, though, a couple times.
I will absolutely do more live streams like we did at Frankfurt. We'll do it with these guys. We'll walk around a little bit. We're in the detailing place, so you'll see a lot of detailing stuff. It won't just be air fresheners this time, I promise.
But yeah, it'll be good. So we'll do some of that, so stay tuned for that. G. Davis says Dane will be buried alive in the Jimmy John's booth at SEMA, which will be nice.
Nice.
So...
All right, Dane, take it away.
Right. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Obviously, we appreciate every single time you guys tune in. And yes, there will be a Q&A Thursday this week. So don't miss that one. It's coming up a little bit later on Thursday, obviously, at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Make sure you set your watches and phones accordingly. And on that note, let's say bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.